first thing I think we're going to do is Gua Sha 101. So I'm just going to give you some basics that you can do at home to like kind of start a good habit for your skin and tell you all about why it's so great and why it would be something you'd want to do. And then I'm going to show you what I do for wearing makeup under a mask. Really simple routine, and I'll add on a few tricks at the end to really make your eyes pop. I know a lot of us rely on lash extensions lately, and everybody's thinking 3 weeks with no lash extensions. What are we going to do? And so I have like some tricks to really make the eyes pop, because when you're wearing a mask, it's all about the eyes, right? So yeah, and then I want you all to stay tuned to the very end. I'm going to talk about some really, hi Robin, I'm so glad you can join. I really wish I could see your guys' faces. I was just saying, like, I gotta find a way to see everyone's face next time and figure out this technology or do like a private thing. So yeah, we're gonna do a mini Gua Sha tutorial, a natural makeup, going out to the grocery store, since that's about all we're allowed to do for the next 3 weeks. And then, yeah, at the end, some really cool new services that I'm offering during this whole lockdown situation. And some really cool things that Meraki is doing. And yeah, just ways that we can stay in touch, still bring the spa to you in some way, make your lives easier, because I'm already going crazy and it's just been 1 week of not seeing my clients. Okay, so we're going to do Gua Sha first. So what you want to do is hydrate your skin in some form. So I'm going to start with my multi-active toner. So some sort of spray, a toner that's moisturizing, not like an astringent type that's stripping, because we want to push hydration into our skin, and we want it to be hydrated so that everything can glide over smooth. So, oh, love that. If you don't have one of those kinds of toners at home, another cool thing, oh my gosh, I have so many of them, Fix Plus. From MAC. It's kind of a cult favorite. I love this. I really love the new Magic Radiance Fix Plus. This has salicylic acid and vitamin C in it. So that could be handy for those of you getting maskne, just like a note to spray that on your mask. It also has kind of like a glycerin ingredients, which is not pore clogging, and a little bit of fragrance, I think, possibly. I'll have to go look. So, but if you're sensitive, you wouldn't want to be spraying that under your mask. Okay. So the other thing is I happen to have a vitamin C serum. So I'm going to put that underneath my facial oil, because one of the best things about doing Gua Sha is it helps to penetrate your product into your skin, especially if you're using the green jade stone. So if you guys have any questions while I'm doing this, please ask me. Otherwise, I'll just keep rambling off everything I know. And I want to like keep this at your level and what's useful for you. So yeah. So that always absorbs like pretty quickly. And it was at this point I was going to do the jade roller. So hopefully you've seen that. I prefer to use my rose quartz jade roller. It's really good for product penetration. And like I said, when I get out of the shower, I'm usually like flushed and red. And the rose quartz is a cooling stone. So it's cooling, it's soothing. It also has a mineral in it. I can't remember what the name is, but there is a mineral in that stone that helps with to push the product into your skin. So I use that very commonly in the treatment room at the end, because we always do the most we can do for you. So just to like cool and calm down the skin afterwards one more time. And I brought it home to keep it safe, and it's somewhere safe in my house and I couldn't find it. So anyways, moving on. The next thing I'm going to do is apply facial oil. So you want to make sure that you have a nice glide on your skin. You don't want to be tugging at your skin, right? So we want a youthful, rested look, and you don't want to tug at your skin, because constant tugging at your skin with a face cloth or like rubbing hard on your skin, you're actually going to make it go saggier and age it faster, okay? So we don't want to do that. We might want some nice glide. So I have here Phyto Nature Serum. So I don't know if you know this, but I'm like a Dermalogica expert, so I get like a lot of free stuff. This was not something I got free, but I saw Philomena, the spa owner. So I'm just rubbing the oil in my hands. This is how you get like the most even distribution. And I'm going to press it into my skin. So the problem with kind of working with and partnering with Dermalogica a lot of the time is they come out with a lot of crazy cool things that really work, and then I end up spending like all my profits on skincare. So basically I'm working to afford my skincare routine at this moment. But this is the most amazing serum I've ever seen. I've always struggled with like kind of hooded eyes and my eyes covering under here. And, you know, I was a little self-conscious about wrinkles under the eye, but, you know, being a makeup artist, I've learned to distract. I put this everywhere. I put this underneath my eye. I put it in here, and it has some gorgeous slip. Kimberly, you made it. Yay. I'm so glad you're here live to ask me questions. Okay, so if you want to follow along, some things you can grab. If you don't have a facial oil, or something with some slip, like a serum that has a lot of slip. So this is like one of those, a serum that has a lot of slip. Then you can grab like a cream that has a lot of slip, but you just don't want too much. You want the stone to glide over your skin, but you don't want it to tug, and you don't want it to be too slippery because you don't want to injure yourself. So what I'm doing is wiping off my hands. Very important. These jade stones and most of the stones, types of stones that are used for Gua Sha, are very breakable. So I'm going to do most of today with this very commonly sold jade Gua Sha stone. Okay, so it's heart-shaped. There's lots of different things that you can do with this. This is all you need for a beginner, and if you don't have this at home, you can follow along. I'm going to show you, oh, thank you for the heart. I'm going to show you, you can use, see, I'm just like turning my knuckle into a flat space. You can use that. Or you can just grab like a spoon. And the best kind of spoon is like those, like what you would get at a traditional Chinese restaurant for like wonton soup or something, or like a porcelain. The shape is really nice, and a spoon has a handle, right? So you can kind of do that, and it's nice and cooling too. Okay. Yay! Meraki Beauty's in the house. Hi, I'm so glad you're here. Please, please, people, ask questions, because like I said, I want to keep this as helpful for you as possible. Okay, so as I go through, I'm going to talk about what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, and why you would want to do this at home, right? We have limited time for self-care, and why this may want to be something that you put on your self-care list, okay? So I'm going to start with my stone, and what we're going to do is we're going to open up where our lymph drains, okay? So there's like a channel right in front of your ears, so everything from your face, kind of, we're always going to be working towards the ears. Oh my gosh, Bernadette joined! Yay! I'm so happy you guys have joined. I wish I could see your faces right now. Okay, so lymph joining to the ears. And then it drains down the neck and into the collarbone. So we really want to open up those channels. And the reason why that's so important, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold the Gua Sha stone. This is called my anchor. So it's a way to help prevent tugging of the skin, right? Because we don't want to be tugging at our skin. So I place an anchor here, and then I place the stone, and you want to add like a 30-degree angle, okay? So let me just show you. If you're doing this, okay, you can injure your skin. You can get burst capillaries. Some people deal with those issues. Okay, bruising. Oh my gosh, Lisa, I'm so happy you joined. Yay! Okay, I'm just going to take this time to say cheers to all the babes that are supporting me and joining. I'm so happy. I wish I could see you all in person right now. All right, back to business. So this can injure you. Don't hold your Gua Sha stone like this. You want it like at a 30-degree angle. So you're getting a good surface area of the stone. Hi! A good surface area of the stone, okay? Jade stone. This warms up your skin. This encourages product penetration, encourages circulation. So you want to think about, why would you want to do Gua Sha? Well, you know that glowing skin that pregnant women have, that's because their circulation is pumped up. If you want to avoid getting filler or Botox, or you're stuck in quarantine and can't get a filler or Botox appointment, this is a way to create volume in other areas. Although I would caution some things. I'm stuffing my face and drinking wine. That is so awesome. Awesome. Happy for you. I just stuffed my face with pizza and drank rum, so I'm really happy, but flushed. Okay, contraindications. Filler, that's kind of a no. Like if you have filler in the cheekbones and under the eye and you're doing this, you can move it around. Even if you're after kind of a healed period, you could certainly just ever feather light strokes. You could do that. And that's good because your lymph that I talked about, this lymph sits under the skin before the tissues. Okay, so you don't need to press very hard to get a good result of depuffing the skin. And you want to move that lymph around too if you have problems with acne. Okay, so our lymph is responsible for getting rid of all those toxins. So I'm just going to do some stuff while I'm talking. So we're opening up where our lymph naturally drains, making sure to keep it at like a 30-degree angle, and I'm just going really slow. This is always so relaxing for me. It gets me to slow down, so I'm very excited to share it with you guys. You can kind of use on the heart one, your finger to kind of hook in there. Like I said, you never want to drop these babies. And I'm kind of a little bit under the ear. I have my anchor, and just slowly pulling down. So if there's anything stagnant there, we're getting it to flow out, and you can even like press into the collarbone and away if you want. So if you have a spoon, then you're going to find some comfortable positions for that. If you don't have a spoon and you're just watching me and following along with your hands, you can just use like light pressure. Just make a flat surface like that. Okay, so jade stone. And then finally I'm just gonna do some opening up of the neck. You don't want to ignore your neck. Notice I put serum there, toner there. There's no sense investing in keeping your face looking refreshed and awake and super healthy if you completely neglect your neck and have to wear turtlenecks for the rest of your life. And I don't look good in a turtleneck. So just lightly, and you're doing like 3 to 5. You can do more. Doesn't matter. So how are we doing so far? Any feedback? Good? Go faster, slower? Questions? Okay, jawline. This is something I really need to work on since having kids. I used to have a more defined jawline until after having 2 10-pound babies, and I'm still struggling with all the effects of that. But definitely getting better. Definitely getting better. Okay, so we got this heart shape. Oh, you'll be back. Okay, please come back. Again, I'm going to put an anchor on my chin. And this one really fits nice right into here, okay? So we're following the jawline, and I'm a little heavy-handed. So often I will move my finger and just do a little wiggle at the end. So Gua Sha is actually an ancient Chinese medicine. And the whole point of this, what was the meaning out of it again? To move wind. So it's that believing in there is energy flowing within our bodies, and if it gets stagnant, we can get ill. So it's a way to maintain health, free up blockages, and whether you believe in Eastern medicine or whatever your opinion may be on it, there's a lot of truth to lymph and its circulation, especially being at home so much now. Something I found fascinating when I got into this was, I'm just going under the cheekbone, and I'm doing a little wiggle here at the end, because another thing that this Gua Sha technique is based on is acupressure, which is the same thing that under the cheekbone that acupuncture is based on. So there's these pressure points, and when you press on them, you can kind of relieve tension and stress and kind of open up that flow. And every once in a while, especially if you're not in a regular routine, you may want to go back and just gently drain out. Hi, Stephanie. Stephanie is my cousin who I haven't seen since last Christmas. And I'm guessing we won't see each other again. But yeah, if you haven't done, like, don't overdo it. Like 3 or 4 minutes is fine. And then, yeah, you always want to make sure that the last thing you do is do that lymph draining. You want to get that moving out of your face. And you don't have to press very hard to move that around. Aw, thank you. Hi, beautiful too. So I was just working from the corner of the mouth underneath the cheekbone. And if you are someone like me who cleanses their jaw or has TMJ, I'm going to show you a few little acupressure moves. But what we want to do is just like really warm up the face. Think about when you go to get a massage for your body, right? Like they don't go in for like the deep tissue stuff right away. So it's really good to warm up. Man, I wish I hadn't yelled at my kids today. My throat's sore. Okay. Oh, Dana. Hello. Thank you so much for joining. If you guys missed the beginning, I will be saving this on an IGTV live, but I would so appreciate your questions as we go so I can make this as helpful for everyone who watches it after. Okay, so we're just waking up the face. I'm anchoring and I'm doing a little wiggle at the end that helps release tension. We're giving ourselves a little massage. We're warming up the skin. I don't know if you can see, everywhere I've worked has like a nice little flush. One time I should do it just on one side of my face so you can see the difference. Okay, so now I'm going across the cheekbone. We're always going in up towards the hairline because we want to do what we can to contour the face into a lifted, awake, bright, healthy look, because healthy always looks best, right? Okay, so on to, before I forget, this whole lymph thing. If you don't know about lymph, it's a bunch of white blood cells in fluid, and this is what helps to clean the toxins out of your body. So it's like your first line of defense. It goes all around your body, collects all the bacteria, kills it, and kind of like all the fallen bacteria and all the stuff it collects and toxins, that gets cleaned out through your kidneys and liver and all the other organs that clean out toxins. And it sits just below your skin before the tissue. So you are doing wonderful things just by gently. See, I went like this. I have a tendency to do that. But yeah, you want the full effect of the stone and lay it flat. And if you're doing this along with me, you especially if this is one of your first times, you will notice how good this feels. There is so much tension in your face. Okay, what is your opinion on using face rollers? Is it similar to the tool you're using? Right, so at the beginning I talked about the roller. Okay, so when you're gliding over the skin, like we're not tugging, but there is a larger surface and you can see that there's movement in my skin. And that's why it's very important to put an oil on to glide over. When you use a roller, which is a whole story at the beginning on how I lost my roller. Maybe my husband will knock on the door and it will miraculously appear. But the rollers on your face, I prefer rose quartz because it's cooling and it helps penetrate product. And it is similar and it helps penetrate product, whether you get a jade or a quartz. But it affects your body more so at the skin level because I'm actually a lot more pressure and a lot more movement right now. When you're rolling over top of the skin, you're affecting the skin. So you're really affecting the layers of skin. You're not affecting the tissues or myofascia layer that sits under the skin and then the muscles. Okay, so very good for your skin to use the rollers. If you are wanting to contour your face, to increase volume where you have lines, to address fine lines and wrinkles, to, get a more lifted look, then the Gua Sha is for you. And you're going to get much more circulation from that, right? Because there's more pressure. It's impacting more than just skin. It's actually impacting tissue. With the Biolumin C we use, be good. Yes, early in the video, I put my Biolumin C serum underneath, but it actually absorbs quite nice. It does have oil in it, but it's not kind of made for the glide. So I don't know, maybe I could brighten up my light. I just put a drop of it on my hand. I don't know, can you see? Is this a waste of time? There it is. And then, like, it's smooth, but it absorbs really fast. Whereas my precious Phyto Nature serum, okay, this has more oil in it, and it has more slip and glide. So you can see the darker kind of color of it. And so I'm doing it on the bottom of my hand. And there's like a lot of slip. Now see how there's like shine left on that, and see, you don't see on the vitamin C side. And then this still has shine. So it has more oil, excuse me, it has more oil, so it's going to give you more slip for longer. But definitely, if you have the Biolumin C, put it under your oil when you're working with a Gua Sha, because it's going to help push that into the skin. And you don't need like a fancy, I love Phyto Nature serum. So I use that because I'm putting that on my face anyways, and it has beautiful slip and glide. But you can get simple facial oils. Something like a grapeseed oil that's not going to clog your pores. Like, so many benefits to grapeseed oil, antioxidants. It's wonderful for your skin. May interact with your makeup a bit, but if you're just going to bed, then there's no problem. Emu oil is probably, if you're going to get a plain oil, top of the line. What else? Oh, we have Phyto oil. So this is a face oil from Dermalogica, really nutrient rich, beautiful for protecting your skin in the winter, beautiful under makeup. So there's lots of options there, and I'm thinking of turning this into a YouTube video. So I just created a YouTube account. There's one video I posted there. I'm not expecting anything out of it, but I want to post there because I have so many recommendations about where to go to find stuff and product, and I'll be listing that all there, where you can find this stuff locally. So yeah, so I hope that answered your question, Stephanie. They're similar, but one works deeper. Okay. So pressure point. Just one easy pressure point that you can do if you have this nice heartstone. If you don't, you're gonna find kind of where your brows end. Okay, there's like anywhere there's kind of like a groove, and you can kind of feel around. But when it comes to gua sha and pressure points, it's usually where it kind of like might be tender, where you're holding tension and things like that. This is usually the perfect shape for most people. So you should only be hitting bone here. And the way pressure point works is you apply like a medium pressure, and you can see I'm kind of working in like a slow circle. So if you have those number 11s and frown lines, this is a really good pressure point for you. If you hold a lot of tension in your forehead, see, I'm just like getting so relaxed and ready to go to sleep. And I'm just working for about 30 seconds in tiny little circles. So if you're doing it, if you're doing it with your fingers, I always like to use the ring fingers around the eye because you'll be the most gentle. So what you do is you press in, and then you're doing these little mini circles over that pressure point. That's why the gua sha stone is helpful. My nails are getting long. And then you just work that for about like 30 seconds in little circles. And that helps to release the tension in the muscles. This is one of the points, a lot of the pressure points, like I said, this ancient Chinese medicine, it's all about flow. But a lot of these pressure points are where a lot of muscles and tissues connect. So they hold a lot of tension there. So if you want to relax all of your eyebrow muscles, this is a really good thing to do before you start that in this tiny place here. But I'm just going to go back to waking up the larger muscles. So I'm going to do the forehead for a little bit. So yeah, a good way to start is with the major muscles of the face, the jawline, under the cheekbone, over top of the cheekbone. And then you can get to the hairline and do a little wiggle. And when I wiggle, I do turn it up a little bit. So I'm flat, getting all the good properties of the stone, and then a little wiggle. And this is really good because I'm draining into the ear. I'm working down towards the ear. So this is kind of the only time when you're working down is doing this move. And then again, take a moment to kind of encourage that lymph to drain. We have more lymph in our body than blood, and there is no system to pump that lymph around. So this was what I was so impressed with this fact. And it explains a lot to me. If you don't move around, that lymph gets stuck. It depends completely on your own physical movement to move that lymph around. So you can imagine like we're sitting at a computer all day, we're tense, and how that could just get all stuck in our face, all that lymph. And there's 3 times more lymph than blood. So, I mean, just for the health alone of your immune system, just getting that flowing is great. Oh, here's another great move. Now that I mentioned for sitting at computers or working on our phones all day, I'm going to turn around and try to talk really loud and show you another great warm-up move. We did start on the neck, and why that's important is all these larger muscles, like large muscles connecting to our face, is creating tension for us, right? So how are you going to relax all these muscles when there's all this tension pulling on it? So just some clear things. You'll know if something's like kind of a little tender or hurts so good that you're working in the right places. So I'm just going to turn around now and show you another great move to do at the beginning of a gua sha routine. So hopefully I'm talking loud enough. So I'm taking the heart shape. Can you see me? Yeah. So you kind of start at the base of the neck, and you're placing the heart shape over your spine. I'm going to go to that 30-degree angle. I'm going to slowly pull up into the hairline, right below where your kind of skull starts. So I'm going to slow. And one more time, because it feels so good. And there's another pressure point in here, and I find this sits nice too. So if you want to do that move that we did over here to kind of release, you kind of find it, you're not going to be on the skull, but right below. And then, so I'm going to change it to pointing up. It's not flat against my skin anymore like that. And then I'm going to do those tiny circles. Okay. Which is hard to do because I'm tense all the time. Everywhere. So I'm getting a cramp even reaching around. So I'm really hoping I'm going to be offering a Gua Sha facial when we can go back in, and it involves a 30-minute portion where I'm using effleurage and my hands and pressure point and Gua Sha all together to get like really optimum results. It's amazing. Some of the before and afters of people who've just come in like 3 times can really change your face. We carry so much tension and so much stress in there, and this feels amazing, and it makes you slow down because you can't rush it. You have to come with the intention to relax and to go slow. And even if you just do it for a minute, I'm telling you, it will take you down a notch or two. And I am a high-strung person, and I don't got time. But I do make time for this, just 3 times a week usually, if I can get a minute for my kids. And sometimes I do it for a minute, and sometimes I can really get into it and do it for 5 minutes. Okay, can you please go over the 11 movement like in the previous video? I'm not sure what you mean by previous video, but I can go over the 11 movement again. So this is, if number 11s, there's these pressure points here, okay? Or you can use your fingers. It's kind of right below your eyebrows. Kind of looking for, often there's a tender point, and then you press in, about medium pressure, slowly, like don't just go in there, slowly. And then you're holding that pressure with little circles for about 30 seconds. Okay, another great move for the 11s. Again, I'm putting an anchor down so I'm not tugging. This more flat. And I'm pulling up to the hairline, like that. So I'm just like moving the tension out of this area. Okay. Another great thing is to move the tension outwards. And so to do that, you want to make sure that whenever we're working on the eye, that this is my orbital bone, okay? You don't want to go past that. Yes, that one. Yeah, that feels great. I know it feels amazing. So yeah, you would do that a little bit, and then what you can do is work on the eyes. So a lot of times the stone in this shape feels really good. I'm just going to do an anchor. I'm going to start where my finger is, and you can just smooth over the brow and then up and wiggle. And smooth over the brow, up and wiggle, like a little warm up. And then if you want to use the pressure points, you can, again, I'm just keeping it kind of flat. I push up here, I push up here, I push up here, and then wiggle. Okay, so if you wanted to do that just with your fingers, and I do this all the time in my treatments for an eye massage, taking my ring fingers 2 at once. So you go up on the end of the brow, go to the arch, go to the end, and then finish by smoothing up into the hairline. And it's important, just take everything up to the hairline because everything is connected, okay? Other eye movements. Oh, lifting brows. Another one you can do is protect your eye with your fingers like this. Okay, and this is touching my middle finger, my highest finger is touching my orbital bone. So I'm not going to go past there. I'm laying the stone flat. And we're just going to do that pulling up motion right into the brow and wiggle. Okay, so you could do that 3 to 5 times. Bye, Philomena. Have a great night. Okay. So yeah, is there anything, volume in here? Here's another thing that people, these lines in here, a lot of people will get filler put in, but you can, by consistently doing this, and I would say the effects of a Gua Sha treatment on yourself probably last about 24 hours. So if you did it every day, you could consistently kind of maintain that circulation and volume. And then if you're using products that, like the firming serum or like Biolumin C, they have peptides that are increasing collagen elastin. And just this, the motion of this is stimulating and will create collagen and more collagen and elastin. So it has so many benefits. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to loosen up around the mouth a little bit first. We have this large muscle that sits on top. There's little muscles that kind of pull up all the way around, but this is large circular muscle that goes all the way around. So I'm just going to loosen it up because you can remember everything's connected. Okay, so just look for something that fits nice for you. I'm going to anchor and come over. Now, if you're pregnant, you want to avoid kind of this pressure point. There are some pressure points that can stimulate contractions, so you want to avoid that. So I'm just coming around and up. You can stimulate some volume in the lips by, I'm going to anchor the middle. And get the circulation going there. And then what you want to do is kind of use your Gua Sha like a little eraser. Okay. And then pull it away. So no matter what you do, pressure point wise, you are always going to do some movement that is pushing the fluid away and out. So we're loosening, we're creating circulation, following that line, and then push it away. And then you can do a draining movement, pull it to the ear. This is where one drain is, and down. So that's a really cool move. So in the treatment room, I have this fancy stone. So I would use something with a little more stimulating, maybe, to get the wrinkles. So if you have lines in your forehead, it would work similarly. Okay, so we've kind of done the big warming up move. We've done up. Now you can really get to work and create some volume in those lines and stimulate the collagen. So a really gentle comb like that. And so I would follow the line for 3 to 5 times. And I would take this and move it away like that. Tabitha, oh my gosh, hi. Wish I could see you on the other side. Yeah, I need that lift. Yeah, so Gua Sha, again, to summarize, is great for overall physical health. It's great for skin health. It is awesome, awesome, awesome for relaxation, which is why I am adding it to my repertoire. Hi, Tabby. Yeah, so if you have any more questions, let me know. I'm more advanced, so this is a little more advanced, something with the comb. You can even comb your hair and stimulate your scalp, which feels amazing too. Loosening up the head and the neck before you work into the face is a great thing to do. All you have to do is kind of brush through, and it's give yourself a great scalp massage. And then there's this tool. So this is more like a spoon shape. If I want to do some work under the eyes, you always make sure that you stay by the orbital bone. And this is feather light. You don't want to be tugging at this really delicate skin. Like I said, all you need to do to move that lymph and puffiness out of the way is just feather-light touch. So I really like the shape of this. And then a pen. This is really good for pressure point. I can do sinus draining in the room for you. This is a more concentrated way if you don't have a comb. You can even find the point of like a really round, find something in your house kind of shaped like that and work on those lines like that. And then, of course, I'm gonna pull this out. And this new stone feels good because it's nice and cool. My other stone, like, it warms up to your skin and it warms up your skin. So that helps with product penetration. Oh my gosh, I spent 15 minutes on Gua Sha. I'm gonna have to work super fast for this makeup part. I'm sorry to those who joined for makeup. I'm just gonna do it super quickly. Maybe on one eye.